So
What about I know Mercy Malaysia is taking efforts to rebuild Gaza. Can you tell us a little bit more about the mission?
Okay, while we were there, there were basically 2-3 teams of Mercy Malaysia doctors that managed to get in the end. And while we were there, we realized one of the main things that they needed, aside from rebuilding homes and all that, is certainly an upgrade of their medical facilities and healthcare providers. One area which Mercy has identified is certainly rehabilitation and prosthetics. You know, we've seen so many patients who had their limbs amputated as a result of bombs or shootings and what have you. And most of the patients we saw were really young people, in the prime of their lives. They're in their 20s, their 30s. They are the ones who are supposed to be breadwinners for the family, but now, they depend on other people to take care of them. So we thought that probably a rehab and prosthesis center would be helpful for the people in the long run. There is already a rehab center there, quite a well-developed one. The rehab physician there is Dr. Kamis, a really wonderful man, again, man with vision, and within 10 years he's managed to build up his hospital to quite a world-class standard, I think. Unfortunately, his hospital was one of the places that got hit by tank fire and bombs and what have you, so they needed help to rebuild. So I think that's one thing that we could look at, helping them rebuild that part of their lives.
What's really sad that they even bomb hospitals and even schools.
I know. It's a bit. This particular hospital faced the border, and it's weird because the name of the hospital is facing the border, and it's written in Arabic on the right side of the building, and then the logo, and then the English name is on the left, and it's the word hospital that was shot at. And I have a picture where basically the word hospital is not there anymore, but everything else is there, and it's weird because you can't claim to say that, look, I didn't know it was a hospital. You shot from a tank. And if you shoot from a tank, means you kind of have to see your target, right? So that was quite disturbing. And that's not the first time the hospital has been hit. They, on the walls of the ward, they had pictures of some of their nurses who were killed while they were attending to patients. Not this war, but certainly in previous wars.
So, and you're still raising funds to help people in Gaza. If people are moved by this video and would like to contribute, where would be the best
think,
do you think money wouldn't be...
I mean, sending money to Gaza is not really the simplest option, because it's not easy at all to send money directly into Gaza. You're not allowed to. And even if you were to send cash directly into it, they couldn't really do very much because they can't buy anything with it. So it's best that whatever money that you have or you would like to donate, give it to anybody, not just Mercy, anyone that moves you, certainly. What Mercy does is, with the money that they've collected, they will purchase items that are needed by the locals. Either building materials, medical equipment, drugs, surgical instruments and implants, things that they will need in the day-to-day sort of thing. Once I heard the borders are open.
They're hoping that the border, because the border's been open for 3 days. 3 days. I think today it's going to be closed again. They opened it for 3 days for Gaza people from Gaza to come out, selected people, and then for some to go in. So maybe these things.
Once things pretty much settle down, the hope is, of course, we can send these items through, either on its own or ideally with someone accompanying it. Across, to make sure that it gets across. I think that would be the most ideal for the people of Gaza. And certainly, if anyone would want to donate to Mercy, you can always, log on to Mercy's website, www.mercy.org.my. Plug in. And I think that there are information there about who to contact, how to donate, etc.
Okay, I've got one last question. If you can draw out something positive from this experience, what would it be, Shahanaaz?
How strong they are, really. Because I don't know if I went through such a thing, if they've been living it like some of them all their lives.
I mean,
and I don't know how. And they're strong and they're cheerful. And my interpreter, she She was really nice. She got 3 scholarships overseas, but she couldn't go and study overseas because the borders closing. So she had to continue studying there, but she hasn't given up. She wants to go out someday, and you know, she wants to be she said she'll be a film director, and she wants to produce films on Gaza and stuff, you know. So yeah, there's cheerfulness and their will to live.
Yeah, exactly. It's very strong. I mean, for me, it's the same. That's what, you know, my take home was really how strong they were. Like you, I was thinking if I were put in that situation and have to live with it for 50 years, I think most of us would be extinct. For our families must be like, you know. I don't think we would have been able to go through that. But for 50 years, for most of them, this is their life. Born into it, you know, live it, die with it, you know, that sort of thing. So the strength, the will to live is really strong. We've met a few people who had dual citizenships, for example, and we asked them, well, so are you leaving? No, this is my home. I'm staying here. I'd rather stay here than go elsewhere.
Yeah, and then they asked me I made 2 very close friends there, and then they asked me the last day, they didn't want to leave me as I was going out. They spent the whole day with me, and then they asked me, if you were Palestinian and born in Gaza, tell me, would you leave? And then I thought about it, and I thought, you know, I probably would, you know, because it's 45 kilometers and you're trapped in there, you can't go out, you can't go in. And then I said, I love my freedom, you know, I love being able to go where I want. And then they said, they're like 21, 22. And they said, no, they won't leave. And one was, she was born in Maltese, but she's Gaza. She came back and she said, before this, she wanted to go to Malta, but now she's staying.
So I think because we've been brought up in this environment where, you know, we enjoy so much freedom that, you know, if you were to put me back there, I think if they were to ask me the same question, I'll say no, I think I would go if it were me now. But I think if I were born in Gaza, grew up in Gaza, have to experience all this, I might not leave if it were me.
Because it's your land, you know. It's your land.
They look at it as, if I leave my home, then who's going to take care of it? Right? It's just like leaving your house here, unguarded, gates wide open, nobody is home, and it's like you're inviting intruders, that sort of thing. So, you know, who does that? Your own home here, you don't do that, right? So, what more their homeland?
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing all those stories with us.
No problem.
Really appreciate it. It's been an inspirational to hear all these wonderful stories from you all. I know it's sad at one point, but we can gain so much of insights from your experience. Thank you so much. I'm Lucinda Joseph. Thanks for watching.